Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. From touchdowns on the quick on the slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout.
Oh, what's going on, folks? Everybody good? Everybody, we did we calm down any? Did we calm down any? Let me see. Give me a little bit more light. This was yeah. Yeah. This was interesting. Not fun. Not fun at all. So 3K, Chris, what's going on? WTF. Can we stop the bleeding? Nina, yes, we can stop the bleeding. Yes. The humble servant says this is a long time coming. Okay. Long time coming. Afrado says Frank Reich will be the OC by Tuesday, especially after Lori had to watch fans leave the stadium before the game was over. That's a great point. That is a great point. I didn't think about it in those terms, but they had a couple shots of Jeffrey Lurie and his wife up there, and he was not happy. Not at all. What else? We lost to a quarterback who paints his nails. You said that earlier, bro. Oh, my God. How much more will Jeffrey and Howie take before change is made? That's a good question. That's a very good question because it hasn't happened too many times that they make a move like this in season, especially as late as it is. This is very late, so I don't know. It's I don't know. I do not know. Hold on for a second. Aha, there we go. Uh-oh. All of a sudden, my camera can't do 1080p. What's going on? Interesting. Oh, because of the background. I bet you that's it. I just did this background, and that background is 720p. That's probably why. That's probably. Hold on for a second. Hold the hell on. Let me go back to my studio. Let me go back to my studio. And let me see if it'll let me do it now. Camera, 720, 1080p. That's a little bit better. Yeah, it still looks funky though. I'm gonna roll with it. I don't care. I'm gonna roll with it. Heard the fans shouting fire KP. I heard they y'all put it in my chat when I was live streaming the game that was happening. So I'd heard rumors of that. Sirianni saying the same BS. He's that's possible. That's possible. When does loyalty get you fired? You know what I mean? So and to be honest with you, I don't think Sirianni should be fired, but I think he's sticking by his boy. So that's one of those things where just like after the Tampa Bay game in 2023, they had to have that heart to heart with Sirianni, like, hey, we got to make some changes, and this is what's going to happen if you want to keep your job. So at least that's my take from it. It could have manifested a different way, but who knows? We got a 10-day break, so if they're going to do it, now's the time to do it. Now's the time to do it. So we'll see. He said, I ain't even mad at the nail painting. jujitsu all the time. They do it in jujitsu. I don't know. What's up? I'm simul-streaming with TikTok too, so I'm talking to all my TikTok people. What's going on? Tees Tacos, Alan. Oh, Alan B. Is that you, Frat? All right, all right. And user 284, blah, 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 blah. That's a lot of numbers right there. Appreciate y'all for joining and checking me out, man. Might be Devin. Say hi. What's going on, Might be Devin? Appreciate you. People saying, what's this, Safrado? People saying, I guess you mean Hurts can't develop. So people think Caleb is better than Hurts. He's developing with a real head coach, and his play style is the same as Hurts. I would agree with that. I think Caleb Williams is probably a little bit better thrower than Jalen is, but it's my estimation, in my opinion, that a lot of this falls, not all of it, but it's heavy on Batulo and his scheme and what we're doing, because we saw the end of the game, and Jalen and AJ was and Devontae was getting together and they were making it happen, and Jalen throws that long ball to get to AJ and all that. Basically it was stat padding, but all of a sudden we start running across the middle and throwing the ball down the middle, and it was like, well, why couldn't we do this the whole game? Why do we have to wait until we trying to catch up and run tempo? I think before we even got to that point, Nick Sirianni electing to go for 2 when we had that late score after the AJ Brown score, that didn't make sense to me. Because if you kick the field goal, we stop them and we get the ball back and we score, you still got to go for 2. But that would be to tie. If you there was no advantage to go for a 2-point conversion at that point, because like I said, if we score and kick a field goal, we're still down by 8. If we stop them, score, get a 2-point conversion, now you're down, you can tie it up. But if you go for 2 and you miss it like we did, now you're down by 9. So a 2-point conversion, if we score, doesn't matter. So it didn't make sense for him to go for 2 points at that particular time. That's a coaching error in my estimation. You're still giving yourself an opportunity to win the game if things fall your way by just kicking the field goal. And heck, even if you kick the regular field goal, you take the 7 points, then we kick off. Then you don't have to onside kick. You can just kick it deep like normal. Pin them deep. Or let's say they get the ball at the 30 or 35 or whatever it is, and we still can 3 and out them. We can still stop them. And at least you have the opportunity to get the ball back. Might not happen, but at least your chances are higher in that instance. And Sirianni not taking advantage of that, to me, is a coaching error. That's some Dan Campbell stuff, fourth down type stuff. Give yourself the best chance to win. So I didn't understand that. I didn't like it, but he did what he did. A lot of people are saying that Sirianni will be gone just like Doug Peterson, because he didn't make the change at OC. At this point, nothing is out of the ordinary. Nothing is off the table. Nothing is off the table. So, the nail thing is just people want to talk about something. It ain't no. I don't give a damn. They're your nails. You do what you want to do with them. Nick might get fired just because of the issue of play calling, but at the same time, you got to hire people within, because I agree. That's a funky situation that we're in because of the success we had. Everybody's cherry picking, and we got the lowest hanging fruit. Kellen Moore, what's his name, down in Arizona now. That's the low hanging fruit, but that was an upgrade because we got Vic Fangio, and the defense has been stellar ever since. So we won that battle. The Kellen Moore thing hurt though, and The two offensive coordinators that took us to Super Bowls next year are gone. I know Frank Reich is available. What I would do if I was Howie Roseman, what I think I would do, um, is give the play calling duties to Leffler. Or if you want to keep Kevin Patullo, keep Kevin Patullo, what it is. Because at the end of the day, if you don't make it to the playoffs, you get axed anyways. And the indictment is going to be even harsher, more harsh. How do I say that? Harsher, more harsh. Um, because we still have a very good talent pool. AJ Brown is still an excellent receiver. Devontae Smith is an excellent receiver. Saquon Barkley has not lost a step. Forget what you heard. Our offensive line can't block. I think the biggest mistake they made was letting Mekhi Becton walk for the money he walked for. We could have paid him that. We could have paid him that. Hopefully, Howie is learning this lesson. CJ Gardner-Johnson would have looked a lot better staying with the Eagles, especially with all the issues we have in that safety. Makuba's not ready, can't stay healthy, that sort of thing. So, I mean, I know it's kind of hindsight. Especially you can't avoid injuries or anything like that. You gotta roll with what you get. It's that simple. You gotta roll with what you get. So that's a hindsight. Hindsight is 2020 type statement. Yes, CJ Gardner-Johnson would look better with the Eagles because we struggling at safety right now. We hurt at safety, and Sidney Brown, somebody that I was rooting for. Sidney Brown was somebody that I thought should have been starting since game one, and he got out there and just didn't work. Was not a good situation. It was not a good situation. So, but we stuck with it. We're going to do what we got to do. We already know teams are going to go after Adoree Jackson. If they switch him up with Keely Ringo, they're going to go after Keely Ringo. And now it looks like they're going to go at Sidney Brown. DeAndre Swift shook like, oh, they shook him, shook Reed Blankenship. Just, tight move. And it wasn't like a heavy cut. Anytime you can make a cut, just like a shift with your hips, make somebody miss and still be going vertically, that is a phenomenal move as a running back. Phenomenal. And DeAndre Swift can do it. We wasted it. I've said this before. The Eagles wasted DeAndre Swift when he was here. And he still got 1,000 yards. We didn't use him in the passing game. We rarely ran screens with him. We just wasted him. He would be a phenomenal weapon against linebackers. And we didn't do it. We didn't run him right. Yeah. And it's a shame because we had the talent and we wasted it. We wasted it. Or I should say our offensive coordinators wasted it. So Nina says, I feel like we say the same stuff every week about a get right game coming. You do, especially when you get your head blowed off 2 weeks in a row. You trying to get a get back game because that's what you need. That's what you need. I'm not happy with this at all. Let me see something real quick. Hold on. Says Zangaro. Anybody else saying anything? The Bears had 281 rushing yards on Friday, and 177 of them came after contact per Next Gen Stats. That means the Eagles gave up more yards after contact than they had given up rushing yards in a game all season before today. They killed us on the ground, man. Chicago whooped our ass on the ground. Here's a good one. All this is from Dave Zangaro. Nick Sirianni on why he still has confidence on Kevin Patullo. I have confidence in the entire group. I know it will keep coming back to Kevin. But again, if I thought it was one thing, then you make those changes. Obviously, it's a lot of different things, but I don't think it's Kevin. Now we all have a part in it. Kevin has a part in it. I have a part in it. All the coaches, the team, all the players have a part in it. Again, you win and lose as a team. It's never one thing. And that is 100% correct. Nick Sirianni is 100% correct. However, that still doesn't absolve you of understanding and seeing where the issue is and seeing if you can correct the problem. That doesn't absolve you of that fact. You still have to get it done and try to make it right. So let's go over here a little bit. So I understand what he's saying, and he's not wrong, but I use this analogy. It's like it's like playing chess against somebody that is better than you. You study the game, you study moves, you study Kasparov, you study uh, Bobby Fischer, you study all the grandmasters now. You know the game. You still go up against somebody, even though you're 6 moves ahead, he's 10. Um, there are just some people that are better than you. You just can't match up. And it seems like Kevin Patullo's getting outmatched. We lost the chess match today, among other things. The Chicago Bears did the one thing I harp about the Eagles all the time. Um, when you find something that works, you run it till they stop it. You run it every damn down until they figure out a way to stop it. If they can't stop it, you keep running it. You keep running it. So I don't know. I don't know why why can't we run a skinny pitch? Answer me that. Why can't we run a skinny pitch? DeAndre Swift killed us with it. The benefit of a skinny pitch is when the quarterback reverses out and people think it's a pitch, that means they take off so they can contain the outside. They think it's an outside play. A skinny pitch, you're getting the ball on a pitch play, but you're running up the gut inside the tackle. And it makes the linebackers over pursue and get them out of position, but it sets up the blocks so you can wall a nice little lane right on the inside. That's the beauty of it. How come everybody can run it but us? How come we're the only team that doesn't want to get outside consistently when you got somebody as fast as Saquon Barkley? Saquon Barkley is 6 foot, 230 pounds. Saquon Barkley is not a little back. All right. Let me see. Let me get his stats. Saquon Barkley is a big dude. 6 foot, 233. That's what Saquon is. 6 foot, 233. So he's linebacker size. Okay. And he's got 4.3 speed. He's got breakaway, run away from you type speed. Run away from you, run over you, however you want to get it done. He can do that. How come we can't run him outside? How come we can't pitch him outside? How come we can't devise a play that tells him bounce it outside? This is how the play is designed. You take one step towards the guard tackle gap, and then you bounce it outside. We'll crash everybody down. You just get outside that outside man and race him to the sidelines. That's guaranteed 5 yards. DeAndre Swift was killing us with that all night. All night. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be a home run play. But what's better? You run up the gut for 3 yards, or you get outside and you get pushed out of bounds after getting 5 to 8. Yeah, you can see my cup. They gave that cup to us when we go to the alumni game, the Legends Community Cup. So yeah. Sipping on some coffee right now. So that's in a nutshell, man. I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. We need a whole new offensive scheme. As much as I vouch for Nick, he has to go, or just not let him ever be in control of the playbook. I don't think he is in charge of the playbook right now. I think this is Kevin Patullo calling this game. That's what I think this is. This is Kevin Patullo's got the playbook. It ain't Nick telling them what to do. They go over this stuff during the week, man. Let's get that out the way. They go over this stuff um, during the week. Okay, so they watch a bunch of film, they calculate, and this is where analytics comes into the mix. Okay, um, you're playing a team, and let's say in the third quarter, when it's 3rd and 5 or less, they run a too high shell 34.6% of the time. And then you got to figure out all those other percentages that'll equal up to 100. What are they running? They ran an all blitz 4% of the time. They ran this 16.3%. And you got all of these different aspects of a possible defense that you have to face. Which ones statistically would show up the most? And you got to be ready for every eventuality. And you got to be ready to walk up to the line of scrimmage, look at what they have and say, okay, this is that defense. And these are the plays that we can run against that defense. And these are the plays that we can run against that defense with this personnel. It's a ton of processing that you have to do on the spot. You got to make those decisions in less than 5 seconds. The good ones can make that decision. You're looking for one or two keys. Is the linebacker up? Is the linebacker back? Is he hinting that he's coming, or is he laid back? Is the defensive edge a wide 9, or is he a little bit tighter? Are the tackles shaded inside? Are they cocked inside? Like, there's different things that'll give you tells on what the defense is going to do. Now, on that one play, y'all remember that one play, A.J. Brown was going across the middle, and Jalen Hurts hesitated on throwing him the ball. The reason why they hesitated was because they got up to the line of scrimmage and it was man coverage. And then by the time Jalen Hurts dropped back and on the third step, he's supposed to deliver the ball to AJ going across the middle. Then he realizes they're not in man coverage. They're in zone coverage. So A.J. Brown is running through the linebacker zone who's got a bead on him. So it caused him to hesitate before he threw that ball. Rightfully so. Because the dude was right there about to jump on it. So that's a situation where the defense made him think it was one thing and they showed another at the snap. That's how defenses do. Why do you think they have that rule where if the defense makes a substitution or the offense makes a substitution, you got to let the other team match it? They're trying to keep it fair and balanced. But that's how defenses try to fool the offense. They can't dictate the play, but what they can do is make you think it's one thing when it's really something else and cause you to throw the ball in the wrong location, in the wrong zone, and hopefully get a turnover. That's why Jalen Hurts kind of double clutched that game. That pass, he wasn't comfortable with it. So Howie had a team move off season. I agree, Q. Absolutely. But here's the problem, though. When you stuck at the line of scrimmage, what you call is what you call. That's where they talk about getting on the same page. If they can force you to make a decision and it ends up being the wrong decision, you got a split second to change your mind. But what happens if you change your mind? If Jalen Hurts changes his mind and AJ doesn't react or doesn't adjust his route, because don't get it twisted, AJ saw something different too. So the defense fooled everybody, not just Jalen. The defense fooled everybody. That was just a good play call by Chicago. They got us. They got us good. That is the defensive version of a double move. You get the cornerback to bite, then you run around them wide open. That's what that was. That was a double move by the defense. They made the offense think they was running one defense and they popped up in another, and then they got the incomplete. So we lost the chess match. Queen to C6. Check. We lost it. We got out coached. There has to be another play caller who can call plays from Nick's offense. Same as Patullo was calling, but with sequences, better adjustment. Listen, here, hold on. Scott Leffler. All right. There's your guy, Scott Leffler. That's the guy that was sitting on the bench with Jalen looking at the iPad. Him. First year as quarterbacks coach of the Philadelphia Eagles after joining the team during the 2025 offseason. 3 decades of experience in the college ranks, head coach at Bowling Green. Took Bowling Green to some bowl games. 3 straight winning seasons. Like he knows what to do. So, you know, he would be the best option, but I don't think they're gonna make that move. I wish they would, but I don't know. Everybody that used to play for us is on the Bears was popping. Yeah. CJ Gardner-Johnson, Kevin Byard, DeAndre Swift. TJ Edwards got hurt, I think. I don't think he played, but yeah, the QB coach. So, but I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to do that. Who was that? Tay 804. Who else joined? Max Gonzalez. All my people on TikTok. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Hope I'm doing this right. I have no clue. I don't go live in TikTok too often, but I'm trying to use it more. So StreamYard was supposed to figure out a way to let us go live on TikTok and StreamYard at the same time. I haven't figured out how to make that work yet. So guess what? I'm doing it. I'm going with the old ways. So let me see. What is the goal? Flash goal. Start. I don't know what a flash goal is, but I just did it. 3 gifters send rows to this live. I don't know what that means. I'm just pushing buttons. Oh well. Hopefully I get 3 roses. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I'm on TikTok, man. I'm on TikTok. It's Coach Marcus on TikTok. Something else. Yeah, something's got to change. I don't think they're gonna do it though. I would be very surprised. I told my wife tonight, I would be very surprised if they did make a change. And now I'm like on the other side of that. They do need to make one. I'll be surprised if they do. I'll be happy if they do though. So I'm just starting to use it more. I've been putting a ton of content on it. I've been putting content on it for months. And I'm just getting to the point where I'm doing lives on it, but I think I just got over like 1,000 subscribers or however that followers, however that works. So I'm using it, but I don't know how to use it yet. I don't know how to, not quite there yet with it yet. So yeah, that seems to be the prevailing sentiment. It's beginning to look a lot like 2023. That's what Michael Barkan said. But yeah, I'm with you, Tiff. To me, this is still an opportunity because nobody in the NFL is head and shoulders above any other team. This race is wide open. It looks like, and look at Green Bay today and what they did to Detroit. Look at LA. The Rams are in leader to get home field advantage for the playoffs. We still got 5 weeks of football to play, but still, and we beat them. We beat the Rams. We beat the Lions, and we beat Detroit and Green Bay. But it doesn't mean anything because we can't operate an offense right now. So all of that, whatever equity we had built in the first half of the season is damn near gone. We're still going to make it to the playoffs. And like I said, once you get to the playoffs, I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're the last seed, first seed, get the first week bye, whatever the situation is. I don't care. You just have to get there. Once you get there, everybody's slate is wiped clean. Everybody's slate is wiped clean because everybody's in the starting blocks again. And you get a brand new season. And it doesn't matter what you did, how bad you looked. None of that stuff matters in the postseason. The only thing that matters is what's going to happen in front of you. Who are you going to beat next week? Do you get the first week bye? That's great if you have a bye. Some people don't think so because you lose momentum. You lose your edge. There's some merit to that. You get the first week off. If you're a team that needs rest because of injuries, bam, you're good to go. If most of your team is healthy and you got players back already, and then you have a bye week, sometimes that can kill momentum. So there's risk in everything. But there's no team that's head and shoulders above anybody else. The parity in this league this year is crazy. Crazy. And we still got 5 weeks of football left. So that, to me, that's enough time to figure some things out. That's plenty of time to figure some things out. Yeah, we got outcoached and outplayed. Any given Sunday, bruh, trust me. Trust me. Listen, I was on the Eagles team that year when Randall Cunningham hurt his knee against the Jets. Remember that play against the Jets where Eric Allen had that pick six and he weaved in and out of everybody and ran it to, got a pick six, got to the end zone, and it just so happened Randall was coming out of the tunnel against the Jets. He was coming out of the tunnel with crutches on, and EA ran up to him, dapped him up, and gave him the ball. He just intercepted. That was the year I was with the Eagles. That shit was crazy. Eric Allen was phenomenal. That dude, incredible guy. We were different back then, man. We were just different. Seth was my defensive captain, and he was just as outspoken then as he is now. Except now he knows a lot more because age has a way of doing that to you. So, Alfredo, yeah, this was it. We were in a prime situation to go back and repeat, and we still can do it. We can still do it. We just can't do it the way we're playing. All it takes is one change. Oh my God, I felt so bad, Tiff. Of all days, Malcolm Jenkins goes into our Hall of Fame, and we put a performance like this on display. Come on, son. Come on, dog. Come on. So, what did I just do? But you can't do you can't play like this and think you're going to go far in the next round. If we continue to play like this, though, everybody getting tickets to Cancun, man. Everybody getting tickets to Cancun. So, I don't know what they're gonna do. They better do something. They better do something because it is it is ugly. It is ugly right now. Malcolm suit up. Nah, it ain't the defense. Even though the defense did get gutted today. we've had a pretty decent run defense through most of the year. And today it just seemed like they had our number. They had the right game plan. And now here's the issue. Everybody's going to watch the Chicago tape and do the same thing. Everybody's going to watch the Chicago tape and do the same thing on the tush push. Now, I got a theory on the tush push. What's up, Shannon? I got a theory on the tush push. And I got tape to prove it. I went back and I will count it for you. I will count it for you. Hold on. Hold on. Y'all can't just flim flam an old flim flammer. I'm going to tell you, TikTok, if y'all still watching, check me out on YouTube so y'all can see this video I'm about to show. Or it's going to freeze frame it because I can't play it. But let me see. What I do with it? Damn it. Project. There we go. Tush push. All right. So I want y'all to see this. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. I want y'all to see this. So, hold on. See if I can do this right. Go right here. Got to get some OBS going. All right. Hold on. Let me see. Second screen. Tush push. There we go. No. Let me try this. There we go. Nah, it's not gonna let me do it. I can't. Crap. Damn it. It's not gonna let me do it. What is it? Let me try this one. Let's try this one. Oh, that's why. All right. Mm-mm. Nah, it ain't gonna let me do it. All right. I was gonna show you this video, but I can't. But I'm about to talk your way through it. I'm about to talk my way through it. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I can do well. Yeah, see, I can't. Damn, I can't control it. Yeah, it won't let me control it. Filth, Florida, and filth. Dang it. Won't let me do it. I'm sorry. I tried. Nope. Damn it. How did this get messed up? I had it working a minute ago. All right, this is the deal. This is the deal on the tush push. Humble servant. I found all of the tape on that. All of it. I went back and I got all of these tapes. All of them. When Jalen slid to the left and when Jalen went straight ahead. And what happened? This was today, and he went straight ahead. Yeah, I remember when I went on that tangent during the stream about that. Here he is against the Bengals. If y'all remember last year, 2023 or 2024, the Bengals was one of the few teams to stop us. They stopped us twice. Same reason. They stopped us on the goal line. The Buccaneers stopped us. Same thing. Jalen goes straight ahead instead of sliding to his left. So They got to figure out a better way to block that. Or no, keep blocking it the way you're doing and just tell Jalen to slide your ass to the left. That ain't hard to do. So they got to be better at that, man. That I'm working on a video about the tush push, about that very thing. So I'm gonna get that up probably tomorrow. And I'm just gonna show example after example of this is what happens when you go straight ahead on the tush push. This is what happens when you slide to the left. Sliding to the left is the way to do it. Oh, you like the Eddie Murphy reference? Banana and tailpipe. Everybody ain't gonna feel that one though. I'm an OG, man. I'm an old head. um Trying to get AJ the ball every play. No, he's not. No, he's not. Everybody's gonna use that because I saw that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring that up. Hold on. I'm gonna bring that up. I'm gonna bring that up. Hold on. Hold up. Wait. Close up. Second screen. There we go. I saw that earlier because everybody's posting the same video. Somebody screenshotted the play where he missed Devontae Smith. It was about a mid pass. That goes Seth still going off. And everybody's like, you missed Dallas Goedert going down the field. And he did. Here's the problem. Smitty was open. And the progression goes 1, 2, and 3, left to right. So everybody wants to freeze frame it and say Dallas Goedert was wide open. He just missed him. Like, no, he didn't miss him. The progression didn't get that far yet. Smitty was the first read. So you got to be very careful when you're looking at somebody's screenshot and they wanted to, they trying to say one thing, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's correct. So I'm trying to find that. Yeah, I can't find it. So, anyways. Oh well. Yeah, they thought he was going to stop it up, but regardless of the reason, he was open. He was open. If Jalen, that was a bad ball. If he thought he was going to run a hitch and break it down, and he kept it going, maybe when he sees something, maybe they're supposed to do something different. Maybe Jalen was supposed to do that. I don't know. But here we go. I can show this. For the tush push, right? Look at this. Watch Jalen go straight ahead. Straight ahead. Now watch this. You see right? Watch what right does. What right is going to do is he is going to plant his right foot and anchor himself and pull that ball out. That's what he does. Watch him. Right there. He pulls it out. He anchors himself with his foot and pulls it out. Now, look at Jalen. Look at his feet. Look at his feet down here. Hold on. Let me get rid of this. Look at Jalen's feet down here. Right? Look at Jalen's feet. Right here. Look at his other foot. Right here. Now watch when he yanks the ball out. Now his feet are off the ground. So he has no leverage. None. What difference does it make if you squat 650 pounds? You have zero leverage because your feet are off the ground. On his left or his right foot, only his toe is touching the ground, and his left foot is in the air. So it doesn't matter how much he can squat. You have zero strength when your legs are in the air. He is 100% dependent on Goddard pushing the pile. Right who's now got his hands on the ball, is going to plant his right foot and anchor himself and pull that ball out. There you go. He pulls it out. And Jalen, there was nothing Jalen could do. Lower body strength versus arm strength. The lower body, the legs and the hips and your core is going to win every time. Every time. And all because Jalen did not slide to his left. He didn't slide to his left. That's why we're losing on the tush pushes. If he continues to slide, just go over his guard's butt and go at an angle. And then what happens is, if Dallas Goedert still wants to push him, he can push him from the side, which means he's going to shield himself from the guy back there. Or he can go head up and he can take on that blocker and get to his inside and block him and still take Jalen with him. You can still, there's a bunch of different ways to do that, but the main concern on the tush push is you got to slide left. You can't go forward. You lose your footing. You can't do it. You can't do it. You just sent me a screenshot. Oh, there you go. Hold up. Hold on. What is this? Oh, yeah. Right. So, great. So, he's open. The problem is your progression starts on the left. Your progression starts right here. You go from, I'm going to guess. I don't know, but I'm going to guess. But I'm going to guess he's 1. He's 2. Maybe this is 3. I would imagine they would go Devontae to AJ. Or maybe Dallas is 2. I don't know. But the problem is Jalen never gets this far in the progression because Smitty is open. If he hits Smitty right here, I think Smitty scores. But everybody's saying AJ was open. I think he is. Dallas is open. I think he is. But Smitty is open. So if they got they signals crossed, okay. This guy is too far back, and they're all concentrated right here. So who was that? Jahan Dotson? He's running deep. He's taking these 2 guys with him, and they bit. Because there's no, look at this middle, wide open. We've been bitching about throwing across the middle, wide open. Here comes Devontae Smith across the middle. If there's a decent throw right there, Smitty is off to the races, or at the very least, we inside the 10-yard line. So, yes, Dallas Goedert is open. A.J. Brown is open. But Smitty is open, and that's read number 1. So why wouldn't Jalen go here? They just got them mixed up on what they were supposed to do. And even if he runs a hitch, he's still open, but he's continuing across, and I thought that was the right thing to do, but maybe the pass patterns wasn't right. I don't know. So the fact that he never got to Dallas Goedert is because option number 1 is wide open too. What happens, and this is just devil's advocate, what happens if he goes to Dallas and somehow, some way he misses that throw? And then everybody's saying, well, damn, Smitty was wide open coming across the middle. Smitty was read number 1 because Jalen never even got to turn his head to that direction. His number 1 option was wide open. This guy was wide open. Throw him the ball. It was just a bad throw. So I'm not going to fault Jalen for missing Dallas Goedert because I don't think, like I said, Smitty was open. Smitty was open. Yeah, everything is blown out of proportion. But the closer you get to the end of the season, these things matter because these are the things that will make you a better team than your opponent. Because this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity. And we didn't take advantage of it. We had the right play called against the right defense, but we failed in execution. That's fair. That's not Kevin Patullo's fault. That's Jalen Hurts' fault. Kevin Patullo got enough on his plate. He got enough blame already. This ain't Kevin Patullo. The play worked. We did not execute. Did not execute. So we got to be careful of that, and you got to understand how the play concepts are supposed to work. Because again, this is the shot that everybody's going to use, and they're going to say Jalen Hurts can't read the defense and blah blah blah. Jalen Hurts did what he was supposed to do on this one. They got out of sync, miscommunicated, whatever. Jalen thought he was running one thing. Smitty thought it was another. That's to get on the same page. Now, can I blame that on Kevin Patullo? No, because I guarantee you, in meetings, they talked about this play. In meetings, they talked about this play. Or else Jalen would not have said, I thought he was doing one thing and he did another. They had to go over it. So I'm going to put this one on Jalen. Is Jalen the reason the offense is struggling, Shannon? No, he's not. In my opinion, the reason the offense is struggling is because our offensive line cannot run block at all. So our play action is useless. We can't run the ball. We can't run the ball tackle to tackle. We have to bounce outside everything. You notice how DeAndre Swift, they kept running those skinny pitch, and they let him get outside, and they zoned everything, and then he just cut him and Kyle kept cutting it back. Kyle Monangai. I'm struggling with his last name, Monangai. Him and Kyle Monangai, they were setting up and cutting back. And that's exactly how they were blocking it. So everybody would flow, trying to contain, and he would just cut it back. And that backside offensive line for the Bears were just blasting everybody backside. So the cutback lanes were wide open. And we couldn't stop it. And they kept running it. Chicago kept running it. And I don't blame them. Run it till they stop it. We couldn't stop it. We did manage to shut them down a few times, a few drives. But for the most part, not when you got two backs and both of them got over 100 yards. Two backs got 250 yards, and both backs ran over 100 yards. That's letting you know something. The Bears' run game is tight. Our run game is suspect. So, Shannon, to answer your question, the reason why our offense is struggling is and the most important thing, our offensive line cannot run block. They're pretty decent at pass blocking. Run blocking, they are straight trash. Last year, that was not the case. We was killing them. The second part about that is our offense, and the offensive scheme is not good. It's very predictable. What does that got to do with Jalen? You got to look at some of my film, some of my past videos where I break down, because you got to look at it like this, right? If the pass patterns are predictable, they're easy to defend. If we have no run game and the pass and the play action pass is useless, it is easier to defend. You don't respect the run. So I'm gonna drop everybody back. Just like I was saying, that one play late in the game, AJ Brown comes across the middle. Jalen Hurts looks like he's got him wide open, and he hesitates on the pass. The reason why he hesitated on that pass was because when they snapped the ball, they thought they thought Chicago was in man coverage. On a snap of the ball, Chicago breaks back into zone coverage because they're trying to force you to make a mistake, and he almost did. That's why he hesitated. So that's why that stuff matters, because if you cannot run the ball effectively, play action pass doesn't matter. You can't move the linebackers out of position. None of that stuff matters. One step on the field in real time, game speed. 1 step equals 3 yards of space. And what that equates to is if you can get good play action and cause the linebackers to take 1 step up, that is 3 yards of space behind you. So now you got the mid to deep middle. So now you got all of this stuff. Can you see my cursor there? You got all of this stuff. If this is the black line is the line of scrimmage, right? So now if you get the linebackers to take 1 step up, now you got all of this deep middle right here should be wide open. That's why that matters. That's why run game matters. Because last year, everybody had to respect Saquon Barkley. Play action worked. And then Jalen was lighting folks up, hitting AJ deep, Devontae deep. You saw what we did in the Super Bowl. In the Super Bowl, Kansas City, Spagnuolo was dead set on stopping Saquon Barkley. Saquon is not going to beat us. They held Saquon Barkley to, I believe, 48 yards in the Super Bowl, and Jalen lit their ass up because they had to respect the run. What that does is it forces the defense. You got to make a decision. Cornerbacks, you got to make a decision because if we do hand it off and you're not respecting the run and our running back, Saquon Barkley, gets to the second level, you're not making the tackle until he's 10, 15, 20 yards deep. And Saquon can make you miss, just like DeAndre Swift was making us miss. That's what Saquon was doing last year. Now, just imagine how much trouble Caleb Williams would have as, let's say, if we were killing DeAndre Swift, killing McNaughton. They weren't getting no yards. Play action pass, we killing it. They not getting no yards. And then everything, we set back and we wait for Caleb Williams to make a mistake. The importance of a run game is so understated sometimes. So understated. Because the only thing everybody says is, how come we can't run the ball? What kind of plays are you calling for the run game? You trying to get the defense to do certain things in the run because you setting up other things. You're trying to set stuff up for later on in the game. So you got to have a run game. And our run blocking is trash. That is our issue right there in a nutshell. Our run game is trash. And unfortunately, today, in my opinion, Saquon was having a pretty decent game. He only ended up with like 50 yards or something, but he was averaging over, I believe, 4.3, 4.4 yards a carry. And the rule is a running back only needs 4. If you average over 4 yards a carry in a game, you did a hell of a job. You did a hell of a job because the league average is right around 3 or less. So if they don't respect the run, if you can't run block, it's hard to, that means everything's got to come by the pass. Everything. So we'll see. Yeah. Uh-oh. What is this? I don't know what that means. What's up, Corey Harris? I'm saying hi to everybody. Everybody here on TikTok, say hi, say hi, say hi. Say hi, say hi. I don't know what I'm doing. I got one new message. What does that mean? No, I'm not inviting anybody. So yeah, man. Shannon, that's the importance of a run game, man. That's the important. Delco Green says it's over 3-2 over the next 5 games, 10-6. Dallas will win the division. Eagles first round exit in the wild card game. Who are you going to beat in the playoffs with that offense? That's a good question, but we've already beat teams with this offense. We already beat the Lions. We already beat the Packers. We already beat the Rams. We already beat Dallas. We've already beat Dallas with this offense. So it's not like we can't do it. We just got to get rid of the mistakes. Jalen played a good game last week against Dallas. Why did we lose that game? Saquon fumbled the ball. Zach Bond dropped the pick. Penalties when we drive killing penalties. That's why we lost the game. Why did we lose the game today? We turned the ball over. That's why we lost. We turned the ball over. We again in the red zone. So we took points off the board. They didn't. We did. That's why we lost the game today. And as bad as we played, we still had an opportunity to win that game all the way up till what, six minutes left in the third. It was a one possession game. So, and I say this, I've said it like 4 times tonight. That is the silver lining in all of this stuff. Is that as bad as we're playing, we're still kind of in it at the end. Like, you see what I'm saying? As bad as we look, we are still in it at the end. So I got 4 new messages on TikTok. How do I get the message? It just says join. I don't know. Are we good? So, I mean, we turned the ball over, man. Jalen Hunt gave us great field position, turned the ball over. That was the momentum swing right there by the defense. Another gift by the defense. Our defense, our run defense got gutted tonight. Think about it like this. Our run defense was gutted tonight. And even that wasn't enough to take us out of the game. The defense still came up with a turnover in a clutch situation, gave us great field position, and we couldn't do nothing. We ended up giving the ball right back, and we got nothing out of it. We didn't even get a field goal out of it. We did this. This is our fault. So again, is it Kevin Patullo's fault? Did Kevin Patullo not know how to coach a tush push all of a sudden? No. So I know it sounds like I'm kind of flip-flopping between Kevin Patullo should be fired and it ain't his fault, but there's a little bit of both. At the end of the day, Jalen Hurts ain't going nowhere. Kevin Patullo will be gone before Jalen Hurts is. Jalen Hurts got a nice contract. He ain't going nowhere. So he's the one you got to make better. And every other, Brian Johnson didn't make the offense better. He got fired. Kevin Patullo is not making the offense better. He's going to get fired. Frank Reich, Kellen Moore took us to the Super Bowl. Outside influence, outside coaches. Outside coaches made the difference. And what I think is, and this is just my opinion, whatever Sirianni's philosophy is on what they're trying to do, different things like that, it'll only take you so far. You need an outside mind to say, okay, I see what you're trying to do there, but let's do it a different way. Kellen Moore, Frank Reich, they coached together in Indianapolis. But Frank Reich got the best out of Jalen Hurts. Kellen Moore got the best out of Jalen Hurts. What else do you want? Doug Peterson made it known. Sure, I'll come back to Philly if they ask me. He's let it be known. I would love to have Doug Peterson back here. Love it. As an OC, I can see that happening. Because we got to be better than what we got right now. And it's a shame. We got to get this together because I do not want this to be a wasted year. I don't want it to be a wasted year. We have not gotten beat soundly. This is the first sound beating this year. Denver, we gave that game away. We should have beat Denver. We should have beat the Giants. We should have beat the Cowboys. This is the first time where a team just soundly beat us. They dominated the line of scrimmage on us. The Chicago Bears did. The Chicago Bears are for real. So I don't want to waste this year because it is supremely difficult to get to that Super Bowl game. Supremely difficult. We did it twice in 3 years. And I want to make it 3 times in 4. But we gotta fix this thing that we going. Because guess what? Jalen didn't throw for 4,000 yards last year. but he was very efficient in where he put the ball and was making some things happen. How come we can't do that this year? How come all of a sudden now we're not on the same page? We was on the same page last year. We was on the same page in 2023. If you did it once, you should be able to do it again. What's different? Jalen's still here. Devontae's still here. Dallas is still here. AJ's still here. What's different? The difference is the offensive coordinator. How should we put it? Panda, we lost that Super Bowl. We lost that Super Bowl to a questionable call, questionable pass interference call. Let's be real about that. The offense lit it up. Jalen was the MVP of that game in a loss. They had to give it to a winning team member, but if we don't get that call and we stop Kansas City and we win that game, Jalen Hurts is your MVP without question. So Shakira, I disagree. I disagree. Jalen's game is not turning the ball over. So, and again, look at the Super Bowl. Look at the performance in the most pressured time. This is the game. This is the big game, and we were going up against Spagnuolo. Spagnuolo had a history of shutting down quarterbacks. Spagnuolo was one of the best in the league, one of the best in the business, as a matter of fact. Spagnuolo has the same type of cachet as Vic Fangio when it comes to defensive schemes. So Spagnuolo came in and said, we are going to stop Saquon Barkley and make Jalen Hurts beat us. And that's exactly what Jalen Hurts did. So don't tell me they didn't get the best out of Jalen Hurts. Don't tell me Kellen Moore, for as much as we handed the ball off and Saquon getting his 2,000 yards and all of that type of stuff, that's great. But when push came to shove and the most important game of the year, Jalen Hurts carried that team in the air, throwing that ball, throwing the dagger, hitting Jahan Dotson in the air. Jalen Hurts did that. So if he did it once, he can do it again. So in my estimation, he got the best out of Jalen because Jalen took us to the ultimate game and won it. Not Saquon, Jalen. So that's how I see it. I see it as, how did you perform in the biggest of big? In the biggest of stages, what did you do? Did you freeze up? No. He outperformed the best in the business, Patrick Mahomes, and he did it twice. But he did it when it mattered. So yes, Kellen Moore got the best of him because we got the ultimate prize. That's BS. Who is they? Who is they? They live in the same apartment complex as sources. Who is they? And why are they saying that? They watched the Super Bowl just like I did. They got the stats. They can watch a replay on NFL.com. It's easy to find. So they are wrong. Yeah. It used to piss me off. It doesn't anymore because you can always go back to the tape. Tape don't lie. Do you think Lurie's going to get a new play caller? Do you think they won't and will? After the game, I was talking to my wife and I said, I will be surprised if they don't make some kind of move. I know what Sirianni said, but Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman cannot be happy with this. They cannot be happy with this because we are wasting this season away. So every time Jalen struggles, it's a referendum on his whole career. I believe he deserves criticism today, but it doesn't mean there shouldn't be immense respect on that man's name. I agree. But that's the national narrative. Did you just ask that twice? I mean, I don't know. Everybody say that, Shannon. That's the argument we have that all the time. And I don't expect people outside of Philadelphia. They're not gonna feel like I feel. And I say it like this, man. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. And your approval of my opinion is not required because up until this point, think about it like this. Caleb is having a phenomenal year, right? What happens if Caleb doesn't make it to the big game? If Chicago doesn't go to the Super Bowl, what difference does it make? That's what we're playing for. That's the prize. So when people, I have a thing about optics, and you should understand this because we're talking about Caleb Williams as well. We're talking about mobile black quarterbacks, the stereotypes, the ists and the isms that come with that. Justin Fields, why didn't Justin Fields didn't get a fair chance? Y'all offensive line when Justin Fields was a starter was way worse than what we dealing with now. And y'all still expected Justin Fields to work miracles. And y'all got that boy killed. But the expectations are different for black quarterbacks. They didn't want when we drafted Jalen Hurts, everybody lost their shit. Why would you spend a second round pick on somebody like him? He is never going to take us to the Super Bowl. He is never going to be a franchise quarterback. That's what the talk was here in Philly. Your situation was a little bit better because Caleb Williams lit it up at SC and he did his thing. He was legit when Jalen still had to prove himself. It was only until last year that people stopped talking about Jalen being replaced by Tua Tagovailoa at Oklahoma or at Alabama. Just last year, they finally stopped talking about that because Tua couldn't win anything down in Miami. And they still struggling. And Jalen took us to the Super Bowl twice. So what does mid mean? Mid, to me, mid is just another word for optics, bro. Because everybody wants their quarterback. They want the golden arm. They want somebody to throw the ball a million yards down the field. And I look at it like this. Jalen Hurts will never get the respect he deserves until he has about 2 or 3 seasons where he's thrown for like 4,500 yards in the season. Then people will respect him because he's operating as a quarterback like everybody expects him. But if he's winning games, if he's not turning the ball over, if that's it, they don't respect that because the optics don't look right. Same thing with Caleb. Watch. How many yards is Caleb averaging right now? Plus, y'all fan base is different than ours. So, yeah, Jaden got drafted so he could back up Wentz, and then Carson got in his feelings after Nick Foles. So, yeah, 130 passes and only 2 turnovers. And for the most part, that works. Not turning the ball over equals wins. But it's not flashy enough. It's not flashy enough. I rebuff what a game manager is. I don't like again, game manager. Game manager just means that you didn't throw for enough yards to satisfy somebody else. That's what a game manager is. Don't lose the game. Well, what the hell are you supposed to do? What happens if you throw for 420 and lose the game? What difference does it make? I use this example all the time. I know I'm old school and I'm an OG and I bring this up all the time. You go back and you look up Jeff George. He played for Indianapolis. He played for Atlanta. His most productive years were in Indianapolis and Atlanta. He got drafted by the Indianapolis Colts. Jeff George had the strongest arm I've ever seen in my life. Strong, better than Marino's, better than Peyton's. But you think of any quarterback with a better than Brett Favre. Jeff George had a absolute rocket, but he was not a good quarterback. He was not a good quarterback. I'm looking up something. Hold on. So dig this. So Jeff George, his playoff record, his postseason record is 1-1. Playoff 1-1. So let's look at the next thing. Jeff George, Colts. Or let's just go Jeff George NFL career. Jeff George had a 12-year career marked by exceptional talent, but also controversy. He was the number 1 overall pick in the 1990 NFL draft by the Indianapolis Colts. His career included stints with the Falcons, Raiders, Vikings, Washington. Key career highlights include the Raiders in passing. He led the Raiders in passing yards in 1997 and leading the Falcons to the playoffs in 1995. But his career was also characterized by clashes with the coaches and a losing record as a starter. But damn it, I will tell you this. Look him up on YouTube. That dude's arm was freaking credible. Optics. That's what people want. They want the golden arm. You hear me say this all the time. The long ball is overrated. The long ball is overrated. That dude, 12-year career. 12-year career. Got drafted in 1990, stayed with Indianapolis until 93. They got rid of him. 1990, he threw for 2,100 yards, 2,152. 91, 2910. 92, 1963. 93, threw for 2,500 yards, 2,526. 1994 in Atlanta, threw for 3,734. 1995 in Atlanta, threw for 4,100 yards, 4,143. 1996, he got hurt. Then he went to Oakland. 1997, threw for 3,917 yards. And that was the last time he surpassed 3,000 yards. Then it was 1,100, 2,800, 1,300, and then 168 as a backup for Washington in 2001. But he had the best arm I've ever seen. And that's including Marino and anybody else you want to throw in that number. Randall, all of that. I played with Randall, so I know how good of an arm Randall had. Randall was my quarterback. I knew how he could sling that rock. Jeff George was on another level, but he wasn't a good quarterback. He was not going to take your team. And I'm saying all of this because the reason why somebody like Jeff George will get opportunity after opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and somebody like Jalen Hurts or Caleb Williams, somebody like that won't, because the optics aren't there. Lamar, running quarterback. What do they say about Lamar? He's talented. MVPs, got 2 MVPs, should have had 3. Josh Allen didn't deserve that MVP last year. Lamar Jackson deserved that MVP. 3rd time. He should have got it. But what do they say about Lamar? Can't win in the playoffs. Can't get to the big game. Chokes in the playoffs, even though it was, he put the ball where it's supposed to be and they dropped it. But that's Lamar's fault, right? He couldn't make it past. Jalen did. If Jalen got carried last year to the Super Bowl, well, what happened in 2023 or 22? What happened then in his 3rd year as a starter? We get curtailed by a questionable pass interference call. Optics, man. Everybody wants optics. Everybody wants the 4,500 yard. Everybody wants their quarterback to win like Tom Brady won. Only Tom Brady can win like that. Peyton Manning is one of the best quarterbacks ever. Do most people remember what Peyton Manning, what he had to go through his first few years in Indianapolis? Hell, you can go back to Troy Aikman. When Troy Aikman got to Dallas, they won one game his rookie year. I believe he led the league in interceptions that year, but they let him take his lumps. But the optics were there. They just knew that Troy Aikman was going to be good. Then they got Emmitt Smith. Then they got Michael Irvin, and then the trio got together, and things started happening. So when everybody says, "Well, Saquon Barkley got carried," well, then so did them Troy Aikman. And go look up Troy Aikman's stats. Troy Aikman wasn't lighting up. Troy Aikman wasn't throwing for 1,000,000 yards. He wasn't. It's all smoke and mirrors sometimes, man. Let me see it on this one. Hold on. All right, look at this. This Troy Aikman. Right? Okay. Troy Aikman. Now, this is Troy Aikman. This is T. Roy. This is the Dallas star. This is the guy for Dallas. Multiple Super Bowl wins. Look at his stats. Freshman year was 1989. I was a freshman in college. 1989. 9 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. Year 2, 11 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. He only threw for 2,579, 2,500 yards. 1,700 yards his first season, right? He started 11 games, 1,700 yards. Started 15 games, 2,500 yards. 12 games, 2,700. That means he got hurt a couple games. 16 games. Started the whole year, 92. 3,400. I believe they won the Super Bowl that year, 92. I don't know, but look at his stats. Look at his yardage, his passing yards. Do you see one 4,000 yard season? 1,700, 2,500, 2,700, 3,400, 3,100, 2,600, 3,300, 3,100, 3,200, 2,300, 2,900. Where's the big year? You see what I'm saying? But if you don't go look at the stats, Troy Aikman was like he was the measuring point until Tom Brady came along. Same thing with Joe Montana. But they moved the goalposts, right? Troy Aikman won the Super Bowl, what, 3 times? He got 3 rings. So, you know, yeah, good, great point, man. Great point. Drew Brees, lighten it up. San Diego. Then he goes to New Orleans, lights it up again, takes them to the Super Bowl. Yeah. What did we just talk about? Thank you for the super chat, brother. What did we just talk about? Offensive line.
Super chat.
Offensive line. I mean, Shan, you welcome to your opinion, bro. Like again, everybody's looking for something. Everybody's looking for that thing. But look at and Shannon, I'll say this. This is the last thing I'm gonna say about that. It's the last thing I'm gonna say about that. When you say Hurts has no elite skills, and I calculated this stat last year because they said the same thing last year, and I calculated this. There was over 45,000 yards, 45,000 passing yards sitting at home watching the Super Bowl. 45,000. So what I tell people is miss me with all of that. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. That's why I use that example of Jeff George. It doesn't matter what skill you're talking about. The skill is you got to get to the game. Let me ask you this. Because now I'll put it in your court. Do y'all win that game tonight if your two running backs don't have the nights that they have? Because that's what they told us last year about Jalen. He got carried because of Saquon. That's part of the team. You can't win. Saquon's not running the ball if there's not a threat for the pass. Saquon can't run or Jalen can't throw the ball if there's not a threat for the run. Everything has to work together. And because if and when y'all get to the postseason, if y'all make a run, and then somebody says, well, the only reason that Caleb Williams got that far is because DeAndre Swift. So that's trying to negate everything that Caleb did. What elite skills does Caleb have? He can throw the ball. Jalen Hurts statistically has got the best deep ball in the NFL. He can run. Caleb can run. You're talking about the same skill set. Y'all in the same boat, bro. You got a good quarterback that can scramble and get himself out of trouble. You got a better offensive coordinator than we got. And you got two smash mouth, elite level running backs. If you feed them the ball enough, and your offensive line is killing the game right now. Your offensive line is what's going to take y'all however far you're going to go. Don't get it twisted. Your offensive line is going to do that. Because if the offensive line doesn't block, Caleb ain't got no time to throw the ball nowhere. The running backs ain't going nowhere. Your offensive line is going to take you as far as y'all are going to go. It happens in the trenches. So that elite skill stuff, that's something for them to talk about on the networks, bro. Watch the games. Watch tape. Watch tape. What skills are you talking about? Yeah. Top 10 defenses and offenses. Josh Allen is a much better quarterback than Jalen. But when Josh Allen wins the same way, he's not a limited quarterback that's, leaning on his legs. He's spunky and gritty and finds a way to win. They move the goalposts, bro. They move the goalposts. And don't be surprised if Chicago makes a push and if you don't get to the ultimate prize, don't be surprised how much blame Caleb Williams will get. And watch when they start moving the goalposts on you. Mark my words, it's coming. Nina, that's a loaded question. In my opinion, the reason why Dallas hasn't won in 30 years is because ownership it's a circus down there. They want to make money. They don't want to win Super Bowls. Uh-oh.
Super chat.
Uh-oh. What just happened? I have no idea what just happened. Am I back on? Uh-oh. Hold on. Yeah, I done lost my damn. There we go. Am I back? Okay, I'm back. I don't know what just happened. I think I hit the wrong button in OBS. Get back to my close-up. Yeah, Dallas hasn't won anything because it's a circus down there. Jerry Jones want to make money. He don't want to win Super Bowls. So that's my opinion. Let me tell you where Dallas is right now. This is just my opinion. Dallas is in the same spot now that they were when they got Micah Parsons. If Micah Parsons had not drank the Kool-Aid, drank the Dallas Cowboys Kool-Aid and started doing all this other shit, if Micah Parsons would have stayed that same dude, and he would have eventually became the leader of that defense. He was the leader of the defense, but he had already drank the Kool-Aid. So he was doing the same shit that Jerry Jones was doing. Now he podcasting. When Dallas went downhill with Micah Parsons was when Micah Parsons was on um what's his name? He was on the podcast. He played for Buffalo, Von Miller. When Micah Parsons was on Von Miller's podcast before he was supposed to play the Eagles, and he made that comment about Jalen Hurts, and that shit blew up. And we ended up beating him. And it blew up in his face. And then he got his own podcast and it got worse. Then he was, complaining about the Eagles and draft, and he drank the Kool-Aid. He drank the Kool-Aid. Now he's out of there. You got Quentin Williams, right, down there. But y'all got this kid down there called Overshown. That dude is for real. And once again, before he got hurt, he was that dude. He was somebody you had to game plan to know where he was on the field. I thought he was that good, and that's my opinion. Now you got what's his name? Iziraku, the kid from Boston College, and now you got Overshown is back from injury and playing like he never was injured. And if that kid becomes the leader of your defense and does not drink that Dallas Kool-Aid, Dallas is going to be a problem because now you got somebody on defense, and y'all defense has been struggling. That's the key to Dallas. To have somebody that's young enough and can play, it's not going to drink the Kool-Aid. The minute y'all drink that, the minute somebody from Dallas drinks the Kool-Aid, all bets are off. Y'all is back to the circus. Yep, Von Miller. Yeah, now he's on the Packers and doesn't do podcasts anymore. Yeah. I mean, listen, man, there's a reason why Dallas is the number one. The Cowboys are the number one brand in sports. They're the number one brand in sports. At least they are in America. You could probably like, I don't know, like some of the soccer teams and because soccer is the global sport, but Dallas is the number one brand in sports, I guess, in the Americas, I guess. And it seems like that's where the focus is. So how many calls are usually in an NFL's offensive playbook? Why does it seem like KP runs like 25 plays? That is a great question. Let me just say this. When I played and we didn't have iPads, when you had when you reported the camp, they gave you a three ring binder. No, I take that back. Real experience, personal experience. This is exactly what happened to me. Rookie camp, I reported to rookie camp a day late because I had an exam. I had a final at school at Eastern Kentucky, and I was going to graduate on time. So I took my final, came a day late. The coach gives me a pack of about 15 pages. The front of a page has about 10 plays on the front, 10 plays on the back. Each page is front back. And I got about 12, 15 pages. And he drops that on my desk when we in film session. So he drops this pack of papers and he says, "This is what you missed yesterday." Then he drops another pack of papers and he says, "This is what we're going over today." Now, this is 1993. Now, mind you, okay, you got 10 plays on the front, 10 plays on the back. So that's 10, 20. So that's 20 pages, 20 plays per page, front, back. 20 pages, 20 plays on front and back. And I got about 15 pages of plays. So you do the math. And this is rookie camp. This is what they given us. This is just a sample. And then when you get to camp, they continue to add on it. They continue to add on it. And then when you make the team is when you get the binder. They don't give you the playbook until you make the squad. And it's a $5,000 fine if you lose that playbook. They didn't have iPads. If you wanted to watch film, you had to get film and take it home. You had to buy you a Super Beta Max or whatever, however they watch tape. Super VHS, Super Beta. A lot of the guys had the Super Beta machines, but you had to go home with a book bag full of tapes. Now, you go home with your iPad. You don't even need an iPad. All you need to do is have access to the servers and have the game film. Or I can just go on NFL.com. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have this. We didn't have this. Now I can go to the film room and I can watch any tape I want to watch. If I want to watch the Bears game, if I want to watch the Packers and the Giants, I click on it. Now I got access to everything from week 13, Green Bay versus the Lions. I can type up, I want to see all the plays with Jared Goff, right? I want to see all the plays. So there's 64 plays with Jared Goff on the field. And I can watch all the plays. I can watch all his passes. I can watch all his runs. If I want to see Jahmyr Gibbs, if I only want to see Jahmyr Gibbs runs, I can sync that up and get all Jahmyr Gibbs running. Only thing it'll show me. And I'm saying all this to say I have access to all of this. So just imagine what the teams have. Just imagine the film study that the teams already have. We couldn't do that. So it's so much easier now for the players to be prepared, do what you got to do. And they're on top of that. So yeah, this was a game the Bears had to win, and guess what? They won it. They put belt to ass to my Eagles. Yep. You win 3 games in a row. That's called a streak. When or do you think Lurie or Roseman has to step in? If they're going to replace replace Patullo, how he's going to do it? It's not going to be Nick Sirianni. And even if Nick Sirianni did do it, he still got to get approval of Howie Roseman. Nothing like that. No hire or fire happens without Howie Roseman's approval. So I don't know what they're going to do. They a 10-day break. Man, they better do something. Let me be honest with you. This ain't one of them weeks where, hey, take the next couple days off, come back next Wednesday. We'll be refreshed. No. I want y'all in here Monday morning. Don't go nowhere. No, we got work to do. Get your ass in here. We watching tape on Monday. We going to practice on Monday. We going to watch tape on Tuesday. And then you can have the rest of the day off because we're not going to practice. But we are watching tape. Wednesday, we putting the helmets and the shoulder pads on. We got to get busy. We got some things to straighten out. This is where Nick Sirianni is supposed to earn his money. And let me be honest with you. In my opinion, in the past, this is where Sirianni has been at his best. He has been his best at keeping those guys in the locker room facing the same direction, regardless of what's going on the outside. He's been masterful at that. This is tough. This is tough, but we've been through it again. We've been through it with Matt Patricia and Sean Desai. We've been through it with Carson Wentz. We've been through it with Brian Johnson. So we've been through this before. And I want Jalen Hurts to get a quarterback coach or to get an offensive coordinator that's going to stay longer than a year. That's what I want. 2 years is the max that we've had. 2 years. That's it. Do I think the weather had anything to do with it? Yes. We had some bad balls because of the weather. Absolutely. Absolutely. But Chicago had to throw in the same weather. So you can't use that as an excuse. Chicago had to throw against the wind a couple times too. But when you can run the ball like they was running the ball, you ain't got to throw it. Yeah, we both cold weather teams, but got our ass kicked. Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. Them flags was lit tonight. They were going with it, man. So um it was deep. It was deep. But we did what we had to do. By the way, pause. If you have not subscribed, if you have not hit that like button, please do it. I'm bad about reminding people to do that. So if you have not smashed that like button, smash that thumbs up, smash that like. It matters. Um, hit that notification bell. It matters. And if you have not subscribed and you in the chat, man, please subscribe. It matters. That's how we grind and grow, man. Building the squad. So um uh, it's weird because it feels like Sunday. My wife said this. It feels like Sunday because of the crazy week and Thanksgiving. It feels like Sunday today, but we just went into Saturday. So we get, luckily, the sports talk radio, it's not going to pop off until Monday anyway. Um, so yeah. So, um, yeah. Y'all still hanging with me on TikTok? Yeah, a couple people still in there, man. I appreciate y'all. I got 513 hearts. Somebody in TikTok tell me what that means. If I see my name up there and I got 513 hearts, is that 500 people watching? Is that people that just gave me a like? What does that mean? I got 513 hearts, and then you look on the right side, you see the little silhouette of a figure, and I got a one. Does that mean nobody's watching? It's just me? I have no idea. I'm gonna have to read up on TikTok because I'm gonna have to start using it a little bit more. You just told your mom it feel like Sunday, yeah. Yeah, Nina. You know what? I just got all my projects done for work, and I'm about to request a bunch of time off so I can use up the rest of my PTO time on my job. So I feel you on that one. I feel you on that one. Thank Bird Gang. You've been here all this time, and you never got me a follow. Oh, you follow me on TikTok. Okay, I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. Um, you can tap the screen and the hearts add up. How do you do that? I can't do that because I'm the person that's streaming, right? Yeah, I don't know. I got to read up on it, man. I'm not familiar with it. I use it, but I'm not adept with it yet. I'm not comfortable with it yet. All I do is use it as another way to post content. Everything I put on my YouTube channel, I also double up and put on TikTok. But on TikTok, I still put basketball and football. So I still put the NFL stuff, Eagle stuff, WNBA stuff. Um, I still do that. Now on face Facebook, on YouTube, I've split football and basketball because I had a lot of people tell me and things that I read and researched that it's not a good job. It's not a good idea to cross the streams like that. If you got a football fan base, stick with football. If you got a basketball fan base, stick with basketball. So right at this time, when we going into the playoffs, right, and the WNBA was still going on, my WNBA content was popping. And then when the Eagles started, I get full tilt in the Eagles. So I was going two different directions. So what I just did was I created Pro Fan Hoops, which is another channel. Um, and then, heck, if you in here, if you ain't busy, go to Pro Fan Hoops. Go to Pro Fan Hoops and subscribe. So this is all my basketball content, Pro Fan Hoops, and then I got my football content um, still there. So uh, football content is still Pro Fan Talk. So that's how I get down. So it is what it is. But in any case, um, so back to the studio. Hey man, Max, talk your talk, bro. Talk your talk. Talk your talk. Listen, man. I tell anybody, man, you ain't gonna please everybody. We've been through this. We've been through this. Even now, um, even after coming off of a Super Bowl victory and the Super Bowl MVP, people still don't want to give Jalen Hurts credit. So if people don't believe in the Bears, that ain't got nothing to do with you. All you got to worry about is what your squad does next week. That's the only thing you got to worry about, because ain't nobody going to give Caleb Williams the credit he deserves, or the offensive line the credit they deserve. It's going to go up and down, and they're going to start moving the goalposts on you. Dude, just stand 10 toes down with your team, man, and keep it moving, bro. Because the national media going to piss you off. Believe that. Believe that. So they've been trying to do that, strip the ball. But like I said, man, I started off the stream talking about that. The tush push, Jalen Hurts. When the Eagles run the tush push, I went back and I got about 15 plays from 2023, 2024, and then I tracked the play this year. When Jalen Hurts slides to his left on the tush push, we are most successful. When he tries to go straight ahead, that's when we fail. So there'll be a video about that tomorrow. So, all right, Turbo. Appreciate you, bro. Make sure you subscribe before you get up out of here. So, but yeah, we've been rocking and rolling for almost 2 hours, man. It's been an hour and almost 50 minutes, man. Shit. So we got 47 people on the stream. I appreciate that. I don't know how many people are on TikTok. It says I got 2 people, 3 people, 3 people on TikTok watching. So yeah, I appreciate. I'm learning the TikTok, man, but my goal is still to get. I need to have 100 people on the stream live. That'll be the first big goal that I've had a couple of streams where the numbers went up, when numbers went crazy. But what I'm trying to do is consistently have 100 plus. So I remember the time last year when I was doing like 10 to 12. Then I kept grinding. Then I got up to like 15, 16, then I got up to the 20, 25. Then I got up to 30, 35. Now I'm consistently between 40 and 50. So the goal is to get up to 100. So if you tell your friends, tell your family, tell your play cousins, your dog, if they got an extra phone, sign them up to Pro Fan Talk. Send them my way. We will grind and grow. I like all fans. I bleed green because I played for the Eagles. That's why I bleed green. But I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. So I love my Bengals too. Born and raised. So it's cheesesteaks and Skyline chili for me. So go Birds and Who They at the same time. So I like all fans, man. I'm a diehard Eagles fan, but I'm not like I can only have so much hate for the Cowboys because there was dudes from my high school that played for the Cowboys. So I always got to have love for the Cowboys. Plus, I'm a running back, bro. I grew up in the 70s. That was Tony Dorsett. I grew up with that. So I can't just hate the Cowboys full tilt. Because I got love for the Cowboys. I got love for the Rams. I got love for Atlanta. I got love for the Packers. I got love for Kansas City because I've had friends, whether we're in high school or college, that I played with that played for those teams. Pittsburgh. My fullback in college, Tim Lester, played a lot of years for Pittsburgh and the Rams. He was the bus driver, blocked for Jerome Bettis. He passed away a couple years ago. Tim Lester, look it up. John Jackson, offensive line, had a great career with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Eastern Kentucky, look it up. Jason Dunn played for Kansas City Chiefs and played 4 years for the Eagles and 8 years in Kansas City. He was a freshman when I was a senior at Eastern Kentucky. Look it up. Teammates, man. So it's hard for me to hate because I got friends that have played everywhere. So for me, it's like, why you think after the games, everybody exchange jerseys and stuff like that? Because everybody know everybody. That never goes away, man. I still jump on with my boy Jason Dunn. He got a podcast, Kansas City stuff. My boy, one of my best friends from the crib, Ron Carpenter, he played with Dick Vermeil in The Greatest Show on Turf when they won the Super Bowl that year. He was on that team. He got a ring from that year. So I got love for the St. Louis Rams. You know what I'm saying? So I got love for everybody, man. And I'm saying all that to say, if you are a fan of a team, I don't care what team, as long as you can come on here, you can talk your talk. We can talk about your team because I study football. It ain't nothing for me to go and look up some film and see what you're doing. Yes, I'm egocentric, but I got love for everybody. I'll talk to anybody. So bring it on. Long as you ain't toxic, you got to leave the toxic on the bench, man. Long as you ain't toxic, I'll entertain anybody. We can talk about anything. We can keep it real, keep it 100. So just trying to build it up, man. Trying to build it, build a team, build a squad, and get bigger and bigger. All right. I'm about to go to bed. Everybody in TikTok world, I appreciate y'all for jumping on. But I'm about to shut this down. Appreciate y'all. But I'm out in that. I said I had 372 viewers. I can live with that. Um, I see you, dang. Ah, dang it. I don't know how to follow back. I'll get it. I'll get it. Uh-oh. I heard it. I said hold on. Something just happened. Hold on. Oh, they still talking about Arch Manning. Man, whatever. Overrated. But anyways, man, Tiff, it's all good. If you only like the Eagles, it's all good. It's all good. You great a Raiders and a Falcons fan. Yeah, I got a twin sister that lives in Atlanta. She loves the Falcons, but obviously she loves the Eagles because of me. But like I said, man, we got everybody everywhere. You know what I mean? So I got love for everybody, but I bleed green. I bleed green and I rock for my Bengals, man. I bleed green, but I was born in the jungle. So the Eagles and my Bengals. Joe Cool lit it up the other night. I was so happy to see that. Yeah. Chris, what we gonna do? We ain't gonna do nothing. We ain't gonna do nothing. We gonna hope that these coaches get their shit together. That's what we gonna do. We ain't gonna do nothing. This ain't nothing new than what already. This ain't nothing new. This has happened before. We've been through this. We've been through this. So listen, Chris, we ain't ass, man. We going through a rough spot and we got to figure out a way to get through it. That's how I see it. Because we still gonna make the playoffs. We still gonna make the playoffs. And again, I say this again. Once we get there, all of this shit doesn't matter. All this stuff that we going through doesn't matter. All we got to do is get there. Because even though the offense does not look like we want it to look, there has not been a game that we have lost that we weren't in the game. There hasn't been. As bad as we've been playing on offense, there has not been one game where we were not at least in the game. Maybe the Giants game. Maybe the Giants game. Because I don't know what that was. So it is what it is, man. And listen, and I know that these are like a lot of player quotes and all that kind of stuff. And some people go for it, some people don't. But at the end of the day, man, listen, you take every game is a season. Every game is its own season. And the only way to get out of this funk that we are in is next week when our next game, we have to win. We play Monday night, right? We have to win that game. And it doesn't matter what we just did. There's lessons in loss. If that's the case, man, we should be smart as hell right now. There are lessons in loss. And we got to take those lessons and improve upon what we're going to do the next game. And again, I'll say it again. In spite of how bad we played, we still had an opportunity to win that game. It's not like we got blown out. Even though the defense got gutted for 250 plus yards rushing, they still turned the ball over. We still forced turnovers, and we gave the offense a chance to score, and then they fumbled the bag. You can't win like that. That's the problem. So I see you, 24 birds, man. Hey, yeah, shout out to AJ Brown. And listen, let me say this, and I'll end it with this, man. I'll end it with this. AJ Brown was right. AJ Brown was never wrong. And all them folks out there bitch moaning and complaining because you didn't like the tweets and cryptic and why didn't he shut up? He's so annoying and blah, blah, blah. The only thing AJ Brown is guilty of is telling you the truth. You can always question the truth because it'll only come back to truth. AJ Brown didn't tell one lie, not one. And y'all tried to crucify him for it. The one person that you need to get the ball to, and everybody in the world lost their shit because you didn't like his tweet. Get the hell out of here with that. Soft ass Philly fans. Grow some thicker damn skin. When somebody telling you the truth, believe them. You saw the play. You saw the games. You saw, guess what? I've seen Jalen Hurts and AJ get together and make things happen. We saw it today. It just happened too late. And if they would have ran the whole game like they ran the third quarter or early in the fourth, whenever that was, man. So don't tell me it can't be done. Don't tell me it can't be done. If we did it once, we can do it again. So yeah, man. AJ, just listen. I don't care about AJ. No, and I shouldn't say it like that. I care about AJ. I don't care about what AJ puts on his tweets. And maybe this is me coming from the perspective of a former player. The only thing I care about is what he does when he walks into Lincoln Financial Field. That's the only thing I care about. It'll be a whole different scenario if AJ Brown was disruptive, but he's not. People just don't like what he said. People just irk because he said it the way he said it. He wasn't wrong. He's never been wrong. And what I hope is we don't waste an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. We cannot waste this opportunity. It is too supremely difficult to get to this point. It's too difficult. We got the talent. We got all the pieces together. We got a good defense. We got a good running back. We got a good quarterback. We have receivers. The offensive line is what's in question right now. Jeff Stoutland, I need you to make the move from Cam Jurgens to Brett Toth for the run. We got to do that. The best running game we've had this year was that second Giants game. And who was at center? Brett Toth. That's not hard to figure out. Not in my book. We got to pull that trigger. We got to do something. So, all right. I'm about to get out of here, man. We've been 2 hours rocking and rolling, man. I appreciate y'all. Please, please, please make sure y'all like and subscribe. And we're going to do this again. I probably won't go live tomorrow. I'm probably going to produce a couple of videos. I'm working on this Tush Push video. I got all the film clips now. I just got to put it together and come up with a script for it. So Saturday and Sunday, I'll probably be putting out content. Sunday, I might go live because there's going to be a lot of games going. So I might do another live watch. I'll let you know about that. But tomorrow, I probably won't go live, but I will be producing content. I'll be watching the Browns play because I'm an Ohio boy and I like Shedeur Sanders. So I'll be putting some content out about him. And then Monday, we'll be back on the grind for Monday Night Football, all that kind of stuff. So, as usual, you guys see my backgrounds. You guys see the stuff that I'm doing. I'm always about my graphics. I'm always about my background. So I'm always trying to step my game up. So I'm doing that too. So, but I'm gonna get up out of here, man. It is 12:30. We had a good night in spite of the game. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm trying to grind and grow again. Tell your friends about me. Tell your family about me. Tell them to tune in. We got to reach this goal. I got to be able to consistently get 100, man. I'm looking at my viewers on my streams like yards per game. Like I want 100 yards a game. So I got to get 100 people in the chat every game. So I appreciate y'all, everybody. Philly, Chris 3K, Tiffany, Darth Panda, Humble Servant, KSAT Spotting, Who else did I miss? Eagle season 678. Nina Austin 6018. Everybody at 24 Birds, I appreciate y'all. Chris Bruce, Noah King, Dank Bird Gang. If I miss you, charges to my head, not my heart, man. But I'm gonna get up out of here. Y'all have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your Thanksgiving weekend. Spend time with family. Eat all them leftovers. Don't get me sweats. All that kind of good stuff, man. And I will see you guys probably on Sunday. All right. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Appreciate you. Love you. I'm out. Go Birds.